That's okay. I'm just glad you made it on. I wasn't sure if you were having
You're
issues.
shoving my face with breakfast. So.
Oh, that's what I should have been doing. I'm a little shaky. Too much.
No, anything in my teeth?
All good. All good. We are recording, Jackie.
Hello.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, I'm gonna, since it's after 10, I'm just gonna jump in. Okay, guys?
That's good.
All right. And here's command. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Perfect.
Yes.
All right. So we are focusing on designs. All right. So I think both of you have been in designs a little bit. So I'm just going to start on that red square so that you can find it easily. And my goal here is to just kind of point out some things that are easily missed in designs. And forgive me that we're gonna have to like wait for Wi-Fi because it's a little pokey, I guess. All right, so okay, I haven't seen that come up before, but nonetheless, so up here you've got your folders.
Flectado, sí, súper bueno, ¿no? Es un relajante muscular.
Whoever's on, can they mute, please?
No.
Somebody who just joined. Let's
Oh,
see who that is.
hi, excuse me. I didn't know I have the microphone open.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm working with Marta Valek.
Oh, awesome. Hi.
Yeah, I'm helping her with the marketing stuff and social media. So she told me to join the meeting.
Yeah, perfect.
So
No,
hi.
it just was a little loud, so I didn't know if you knew that was on. But yeah, no, welcome.
Excuse me.
We just got started.
Okay.
All right. So we're in the designs tab, and up here you've just got folders of things that you have already created. But anytime that you want to create something new, you click the plus sign down here. So then it's asking, well, what is it that you want to create? For starters, we're going to click anything social, anything having to do with digital online is social. So we'll start there and click next. And it's going to bring us into this little portal of templates that are available eventually. Wow. It really doesn't usually take this long.
That looks like my
I haven't
computer.
created that many things. What's that?
That looks like my computer. How long it takes to load up.
All right, so here's the kind of the template portal. So up here, you'll see you've got templates, my designs, and brand assets. So typically it defaults to templates. So you kind of forget that there's these other options up here. And I will come back to templates, but I also want to just show you what's in these other ones. So my designs brings up things that you've already created, and there's this area to import PDFs that you can bring into designs and further edit them in designs. But this brand assets is really nice to have set up, and a lot of people don't realize it's there. So some of your branding, as far as like your headshot, your logo, does pull in from the marketing portal. But beyond that, it's kind of nice to have, especially your color palette and any fonts and things that you're using in your brand assets. So for example, if I say, I'm going to go to my color palette here. If I say new color palette, I just want to show you how you can add colors. So if I click on the plus sign, then you can come down here and choose different codes, you know, different ways that colors are identified, and you can put in a code there. So that is how I created this color palette using the Keller red, the Keller gray, So these first 4 are all from the Keller color palette. This blue is a New American Funding blue, and this orange is also a New American Funding color. So the way, if you don't know what those color codes are, I'm going to open a new tab and go to rosevilleconnect.com. Can you still see my screen? I just want to make sure that going to a new tab
Yep.
that you can still see that. Okay, good. So if you go to agent launch and then down to logos and branding, and then scroll all the way to the bottom, here is your color palettes. So you can use the RGB code, and you can use this number code at the bottom, different color codes that you can put into your logos and branding. So then when you're designing things, you don't have to go, oh, does that red match, or is this the right gray, or things like that. And then you come down to logos, and you can upload logos, images, if there are images that you would want to use repeatedly. So I've uploaded us. So things like that. I just want you to know that this brand assets is here, so that if there's anything that you want to use repeatedly on your designs, that's a great place to put them. So now I'm going to jump back to templates. And so over on the left-hand side here, you've got the topics. So let's look at listings. So in here, you've got coming soon, for sale, just listed. I like to focus on just solds these days, because that's where you're going to get the most mileage for your marketing, is in a just sold. The just listed, the coming soons are great, but these listings aren't lasting very long. So it's really difficult to kind of get the mileage out of them. Whereas a just sold, we're trying to attract listings anyway, not buyers so much. And a just sold is going to attract listings. So I think just solds are a great place to focus. So then once you've got that open, then let's narrow it down by platform. So let's say you want to put it on Facebook, that's going to be social wide. So up here, you've got the platforms, stories, square, I should say formats more than platforms. But so you've got the topics on the left, and you've got the formats or the platforms on the top, okay? Neighborhood snaps are great things to put out there. And it can be kind of confusing as to how to put one of these together. So let me kind of show you how that goes. I'm just going to use this first one for the sake of, actually, let's do a neighborhood snap for Facebook. So I'm doing social wide because that would be for Facebook. I'm going to open this first one up. Thank you for your patience. All right. So here's how it looks. Obviously, we need to we have to customize a few things here. So anytime you see Barton Hills is just the fake neighborhood that they put in that needs to be edited to be your own neighborhood. So we're going to replace this Barton Hills information. So anytime you want to replace something, you have to select it in your design. So I have it selected. And then we're going to go find neighborhood snaps. We're going to go over to the KWLS here. This is also where you would get listing information if you wanted to look up a listing, but we're going to find a snapshot. So here I can search for a neighborhood. So for the sake of ease, I always know my neighborhood. So I'm going to just look for mine. There it is, South Maplewood. And I'm going to scroll down here. So now I have that same card, but with my neighborhood. Okay, so I'm going to hover over. Oh, let me go up a little bit here because I want you to see that when I hover over this image, there's replace arrows. So I have 3 options as far as adding this image over here to my design. The plus sign is going to just add it on top of whatever's there. So that would do Barton Hills plus South Maplewood. I don't want that. I want to replace it with South Maplewood. So I use those arrows. The grid is going to change the entire background to South Maplewood. We don't want that either. So now I have this updated, showing average list price, total active, total pending. And then obviously we want to change this from Barton Hills. I can just double click in here to get my cursor. And call it Maplewood. And then I can just stretch this out. Don't forget that this little zoom in, zoom out is down here because that's really handy. Interesting that it's not letting me pull that out. Oh, there we go. Now it is. So I'm going to grab that edge and make it a little wider. So then I can grab this DBA name and I want to replace that too with the correct logo. So I'm going to go to logos and just hover over that and say replace. And I can just drag that up. If you wanted to change this image too, like let's say this didn't really look like South Maplewood, I could come over, and I probably don't have a picture of my own neighborhood, but I bet I could look in the company stock photos and look at neighborhoods. So these are all folders of stock photos. So let me look at some other neighborhood pictures because maybe I don't really care for that one. I could just replace it with something a little more generic looking like that. There. Or maybe a little more personal looking like that. So you can replace as many times as you want. Sometimes it's hard to see what they look like in your image by looking at these little thumbnails over here, but you can just replace and replace and replace as many times as you want. Actually, that one looks like South Maplewood. That actually looks like the park right by my house. So I like that one. So anyway, once you have that edited to your liking, then you can just download that as an image. Both JPEG and PNG are image files. So that's what you would want to choose for Facebook or any social media. And then you just click start download. And there you have your neighborhood snap. So don't forget about those neighborhood snaps. Those are awesome. Kind of in a similar vein, there's also sort of a neighborhood snap in video form. So I'm going to show you those as well. Let me jump back here. So that just went right down to my downloads. All right, so I am back to the design homepage. And I'm going to click the plus sign to create something new. And this time I'm going to choose video next. And that in the same way, I'm going to search for South Maplewood. I don't think caps matter, so that's okay. Here we go, South Maplewood. Next. All right, so it brings up some fields that are just open here and they're editable, which is really nice. So these are all the fields that are used to create the video. And this video is just it's basically an animated neighborhood snapshot. So you've got the neighborhood name here. If you wanted to change that, you could. Average home price, if you felt like that was, on the rise is true. Average price per square foot is holding steady, but if you feel like it's, anything else, you can change it. Number of homes for sale, if you feel like that's not accurate, 9 does seem a little high, in my opinion. Just from living here, I would be surprised if there's 9 homes for sale. I'm going to say 5 just to show you that I can change this. And average days on market, probably more like 25. Then down here, you've got neighborhood features. And let me go back to say, you don't want to just necessarily be throwing out numbers. You would be basing this on something. I'm just changing it for the sake of showing you that they're editable. But if you have, based on the data that you have available is more accurate than what shows in here, then you can change that. So anyway, in the video, it shows kind of highlights of the neighborhood, which is really cool. And so I'm going to just get rid of 1. You have to choose 3. So I'm going to get rid of yoga culture for the sake of showing you what else is in here. So let's say animal advocates, dog lovers is in there. Let's take out athletic wear. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I'll just pick 3 new ones. Book loving and nature. Lots of paths around here. All right, and then you've got your agent information. You can just make sure that that is all good and accurate. And market information, all good. Next. And then it plays the video for you. Hold tight. This may take up to 10 seconds. But you can do a variety of these videos on lots of different neighborhoods. Here, let me play it and then I'll talk about it. Whoops. Did I lose this? Let me go back, try that again. There we go. Isn't that fun? So, you know, the more ways that you can get this information in front of people, you know, if you do the neighborhood snap, you do a video. Let's say you're door knocking in a neighborhood and you're just highlighting, you know, in your own way, things that you love about that neighborhood, what's going on in that neighborhood, what, you know, what paths or parks are there, especially now with spring and people are getting out more. It's a great time to just be, whether you're door knocking or not, highlighting these different neighborhoods that you want to focus on. You don't have to have a listing there to be focusing on a neighborhood. You can just be educating people about different neighborhoods that are available and get people's imaginations stirring about where they could live or what they do love in a neighborhood. Maybe they do want to live by a park. Maybe they would love to live near water. So all of these kinds of things. Okay, so let's talk about the other thing I want to mention. Let's go to print. I'm going to, again, click this plus sign and click print. So the other thing I just want to point out that is easily missed. Oh, did I not click next? Sorry. But when you're creating anything in print, whether it's a postcard or a flyer, sometimes people forget that you can download any of those print pieces as an image, and you can share that, especially on Facebook, because that's not size specific. So if I say standard postcard, and right now I'm on, let's go to something else. Let's go to buyers, and now let's come down here and look at new designs. This is another thing that's often missed, is what's new in designs. So if you go under here, then you don't want to be digging through all these topics each time to find out what's new. You can just come under new designs and see what's in here. So you can see something new recently was all these listing presentations. Beautiful. Look at this one. I'm basically opening this one because I haven't seen this one and it looked nicely done. So I want to see it too. So, new beginnings, little bio about you, year in review, real estate solutions, and keep in mind every single one of these pages is editable. This is just a starting point, right? So you can take any one of these pages and download it as an image. So let's take this success stories page. And let's say you edit this with, your team or, you and a client or whatever it is, and you've got this all edited and ready to go. You don't have to download it as a PDF for print. You can still download this as a JPEG or a PNG, and then you have it as an image and you can share it on Facebook. So you don't have to be limited to what they have available to you when you click social. You have all of the flyers and the postcards that are available to you when you click print, and just download it as an image. And there's, you've just doubled, tripled the amount of content that's available to you in designs. So any questions about anything that I have talked about?
Jen,
Yes.
can you explain that one more time, like what you just said, how you
Yeah.
can download and then print? I am confused a little.
Okay. So normally, when I click the plus sign to create something new, and it asks me, do you want to do print or social or email or video? I said print. So a lot of times when you choose print, you're thinking, I'm going to make a flyer to print, or I'm going to make a postcard for print. But my point is that just because you chose print and you have access to all of these print pieces, you can, when you click download, like if you did want to print it, you would choose PDF. And then it would download the thing that you made, this page, as a PDF, so that you could print it on a printer. But if I chose JPEG, then it's going to download it as an image. And that's what you can put. I can't put a PDF on Facebook. That doesn't work. But if I say download this as a JPEG, I'm waiting for it to download as a JPEG. So there it is. So here it is as a PDF if I wanted to print it on the printer. But here you can see the little image icon. There, it downloaded as an image. So I can go then to Facebook. And just go, what about what's on my mind? Go to my photo. And it's right here in my downloads. And I could add that to Facebook. So that's my point. Does that make sense, Jackie?
Yes, it does. I just have never done that.
Yeah,
Of course.
no, that's okay. Yeah, so it's
That's why
important
I'm
to
here.
yeah, it's important to understand the differences between, whoops, did I lose command?
Oh, I think you did your Facebook over it.
I did, didn't I? But it's important to understand the differences between the file types. So the first two, the JPEG and the PNG, are image files.
It makes sense. Great.
Yeah. So I'm focusing more on just kind of those easily missed areas in designs. I'm focusing on that more than I am on how to edit a piece. But if anybody has specific questions about that, I'd be happy to talk about that as well.
Then if you're putting together a booklet, for like a listing presentation, and do you use the entire design example and either delete and add and edit the entire booklet at once, or do you make changes page by page? Does that, I don't know if
I
that
would go
makes
page-
sense.
I think so. And I believe page by page, if I'm understanding the question, is the answer. So I'm just going into that print portal. And I'll pull up that one that I had. Sorry, I lost that.
I was just trying to picture, you have all the pages as you wanted, and then how do you print it all out so it's in the,
Yeah,
one
so it'll give,
booklet?
I'll show you how that looks, and it's in the download options. So
Okay.
when you click download, you have the choice of telling it if you want to print the whole thing, or if there's specific pages you want to download, or specific pages that you want to edit. You can do page by page.
Okay.
And Jeannie, I don't know if you've used that much. The listing presentations that are in there. I mean, it's great. I love KW because it offers us so many options for things.
Yeah.
But I personally find that listing presentations, I mean, they're like 37 pages long.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of find the pages that I like, and then I just pull those pages out and I do my editing, and then I print them, and then I just put it all together manually. That's what I've been doing.
Okay. That answers the question as well. I
But it's
think I
kind
was
of a
making it,
pain, but
I was making it harder than it really is.
because there's a lot of stuff in there. I mean, great if every agent is different, and there's agents that probably use the whole thing. I just find it's overwhelming for me. I can imagine how overwhelming it would be for a client. Oh, here's my
Yeah.
listing presentation, booklet that's this thick, and
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of agents, they don't really go through the booklet necessarily but it's something to leave them. So, but yeah, you can
True.
certainly just take, page by page, go through and take whatever pages you like or want to edit and use, and then delete whatever pages you don't want to use.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, that helps.
Oh, you can delete pages you don't use. I guess I didn't know that part. Okay.
Yeah.
So then when you go to download, you can see here, do you want to just print that one page or download that one page, or do you want to download pages 1 through, I guess that would be all pages. Let's see how many pages are in here. So let's see, if I wanted to download 1 through, I'm not sure why it's not saying 1 through like more than 1. Anyway, but that's where you can manage the pages. I'm just not sure offhand why this is not doing 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, something like that.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, so I would definitely recommend grabbing, just a format that looks appealing to you, and then edit it from there. Just keep in mind that all of these pictures, like if you love this page, but want to use a different photo, be sure to access, you know, either upload your own photo or just come over to the company assets and go, let's see, home interiors. Let's look at those, and you can just switch those out.
Okay.
If you have your own photo you want to use in your under images, you can just click add, and you can upload. There we go. You can add images from Facebook. It'll pull up your Facebook photos, or you can import a picture directly, you know, like right here, you can just upload, it'll access the file, your computer files, and you can go find a photo to use. So you can import all kinds of things under images and add, access your Google Drive and so on. And then once, yeah, my assets, that's what pulls in from your branding, because I went to, if I go back to home here, when I set up that branding kit and I pulled in our photos, those are under my assets then. I wish everything didn't take so long to get to. It's gets a little confusing when you just can't click around where you want to go. But anyway, any other questions on just editing or what's available?
I don't know if this is really related, but under my designs, I keep ending up with extra fluff in there, things that I don't want. You can delete those, can't you?
Yeah, you can. This little
I
dot,
wonder-
these little dots right there. And that might be archive, but it's, let's see, delete. Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely go through and clean it up, because when you're kind of playing around in here, you can end up with a lot of junk in there that you really don't want to keep.
Okay. Somehow I wasn't able to figure that out, but I'll look
Yeah,
better.
just those three little dots. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
I'm sure I have like 100 questions, but you know, I just need to play around with it more. I just don't take the time to go in there and ding around, you know?
Yeah, I just noticed, I haven't talked about this in a little while, but I'm under my designs again. And so under new folder, let's say I want to organize these, you know, like, so you get it cleaned up, you get rid of the stuff that you really don't need in there. But let's say you have a listing folder. And so then you want to put all of your pieces that you use for a listing in there. So then I put that in the listing folder. Let's say I want to create a flyer folder. And so then you put snap your
Excuse me,
move,
Jen,
throw that
are
in the buyer
you
folder.
sharing the screen?
Oh, can you not see my screen right now?
I'm seeing just the downloads in Google Chrome. I don't know if everyone has the same problem.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too. It's like stuck on your downloads. Is that what you're wanting us to see?
No.
Oh, yeah, it's just kind of like showing just your downloads page. We're not able to follow you.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. Shoot. What are you seeing now?
Your Facebook page.
How about now? Oh, now it's
Oh,
me.
there's all of us.
Shoot. Oh, Carrie told me in the chat that they could only see my now can you see command?
There you go. Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Oh, so sorry about that. I had no idea. I thought you were just following me around. Okay, so let me go to my designs is where I was. So when you're in My Designs, you can see how you can create folders. Because to your point about having things in here that, you know, to just keeping it cleaned up, you can create your own folder. So if you have your buyer folder, you can put, you know, something relevant to a buyer, real estate solutions, you know, throw that in your buyer folder. So when you're working with a buyer, then you can open that folder up and see what you have in there for your buyers. So that's kind of another way to remember that you've got folders here that you can use to kind of organize your materials. And that's really helpful, especially after you've been using it a while and have a lot of pieces in there. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. I hope that you remember to use your brand assets, remember to use your neighborhood snaps, remember to use your folders, create your neighborhood videos. You can use content across different platforms. So remember to go and explore what's in your prints, what's available in there, and download postcards and flyers as an image so that you can post those on Facebook as well. So yeah, and if you have any questions more specific to like how to edit the designs themselves, just reach out to me and we can talk about that too.
Hey, Jen, someone,
Yeah.
JD McGregor was looking, are there any templates in there for like house highlights for open houses? She was wondering if there's anything branded in
Oh, I
there.
did see her question about that yesterday. Let's see. So that would be a listing. I don't know offhand, but let's see if there's anything for open house. It's probably where it would be. Postcards. Let's look in there. No, not that I'm aware of.
All right, thanks for
Open
saying.
house first impressions, but no, I think that would be a great suggestion. Yeah, has anybody else seen anything available? So spring selling season, these are kind of cool. But yeah, I would just make sure you're always checking that the new designs that are available. Because they're always putting new stuff out.
Mm.
All right, any other questions? All right, well, thanks for hopping on and we'll talk to you soon.
Hey, Jen,
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Jen.
you. Thank you very much.
You bet.
Jen.
Nice.
Jen, I
I-
saw your email yesterday. Sorry I didn't respond, but I'm getting to it.
Oh, that's okay. That was Beth.
Yeah, I do need a check-in.
Yeah, no problem. We'll talk soon. All right, take care.
Thank you, Jen.
Bye-bye.